Okay. So, namaste, good evening, hello to all readers and all friends and all people who go usually to Landmark, and to all readers of Penguin books, which is a large number, of course, we can't even limit it, thousands of people, and all our friends and who follow me on Facebook and so on. At this time when we are kind of shut in a lockdown, I think I wish you all happiness, to entertain yourself and keep your minds happy in spite of this. Let me tell you, there was a time when yogis used to impose shutdowns on themselves voluntarily to pursue certain matters. Not only yogis, Karl Marx spent days together in the British Museum trying to work out and wrote the Das Kapital. Einstein used to isolate himself for days to work on. Many novelists, painters, artists, geniuses have all done that. I'm not saying we're all geniuses, but what I'm trying to say, therefore, in this situation when we are shut in, utilize it to the best of our capacity in doing things which we would love to do and which we couldn't do because we were running around all over the place like mad ants. And you have the internet, so many things can be done. Okay? Apart from that, there are ways and means by which you can meditate, stay happy, look at nature. I'm sure now you have begun to notice and hear the sound of birds when you wake up in the morning, because it was too busy before that. Enjoy that. Look at the trees, look at the flowers, look at the plants, and when you have nothing to do, you want to sit quiet, meditate. Close your eyes and meditate. Now that brings me to my association with Landmark bookstores. I've written many books, but among them, the books which were written over the last year or so, both my books, one is Shunya, which was published by Westland, which is fiction, which is a novel, was launched in Landmark, Bangalore, Landmark, Bangalore. And after that, I wrote this book, which I'm holding before me. It's called On Meditation, Finding Infinite Bliss and Power Within for Penguin. That launch also was in Landmark, Bangalore, and it was a beautiful affair because of Landmark bookshops I don't know another place, but I know in Bangalore there are very big and there's a lot of space and so many books, and there's enough place for people to come and interact and so on. So I think they are doing a good job. So I appreciate that, and I think we have more such book launches. I'm still working on another book, collection of short stories for Penguin. I'm working on Yoga for the Godless, which is Yoga Sutras of Patanjali for Westland. So more books are going to come. And I'm sure I'll be there at Landmark for the book launch, at least in Bangalore. Okay? Now, this book which I mentioned, On Meditation, I'm going to read a few excerpts from the book, which I think might be interesting. My friends say that they're interesting. So let me see. So this is page number 27. And the question, this book is basically a question-answer book, and I wrote it because people keep asking me the same questions on and on. Now I tell them, look at YouTube, read this book on meditation. Especially on meditation, people are always asking questions. Now it's to, in a way, get out of this that I wrote this book. So here it is on page 27, the question which many people ask, why should one meditate? Now, first, I'm going to read the book, what I have written in the book. And I have written, it goes like this. I must deal with this one by one. What do you mean by one by one? Different kinds of people conceive of the divine in different ways. Some people like to conceive of the supreme energy as God with a form. Others think of it as energy. I hope this is all right for India, because in US I might say, others think of it as energy, and so I don't want to say that. So, others think of it as energy. The Buddhists say shunya. There are Christians who like to think of the manifestation of the Supreme Energy as Jesus Christ. Among the Hindus who have 33 crore deities to choose from, people may think of God as Devi, as Shakti, as Ganesha, it doesn't matter. And some think of it as the all-pervading Supreme Reality, the Brahman. Now there are different modes in which people like to look at divinity, and it doesn't matter which mode you choose. But to reach the goal, you can't simply say that I'm all-pervading, unconditioned, free, and if I think about it, I will reach there. You can think about it, of course, it's nice, but you need to find ways to reach it. So, we were also talking about dharana, dhyana, and samadhi as a path to reach the goal. This because you need to learn how to fix your attention on that divinity and not just say divinity is what you are. It's very dangerous to say that I am the Brahman, because then the ego becomes very strong. It's better to say I am not this, but maybe when everything ends, then there is the Brahman. Humility is essential. Affection is essential. Fellow human beings should be given value. Now, to begin meditation. Now, I think I've discussed why we should meditate. Should we continue with that, or? There's one more paragraph, we'll just go through it. To begin meditation, first sit down and decide which form or what mode you would prefer to to connect with that energy inside. Once you decide, next step is to bow down, and then I have discussed some meditation technique, which you can read from the book. Now I go to the next question. What is the importance of visualization in meditation? And how can we utilize it? I wouldn't have chosen this question, but somebody has chosen it. But I think real meditation is when there is no visualization at all. Anyway, so I think when the Bible says God breathed the breath of life into Adam, it's talking about the capacity to visualize. It's a symbolic way of saying that a certain capacity which is divine has been added on to the human being, to the mortal. It is this capacity of imagination and visualization which has allowed the human mind or humankind to improve, evolve, and to reach this state. We built great cities, great businesses, make great medical discoveries, and all this is possible because of imagination. Albert Einstein is on record as saying that imagination is more important than even knowledge. Because the secret is, if you can put your mind into an idea which you want to achieve with complete visualization, as if it is actually there, and if you can do that constantly, where you know a technique by which that can be done, then believe it or not, sooner or later, it becomes a reality. Of course, there are exceptions where it doesn't work, but there are explanations as to why it doesn't. That is a different matter. For the time being, let us think only of that which can happen and not that which doesn't happen, especially in this time when we cannot go out. We are sitting in the house. So the secret of visualization, of creative thought, is to actually believe and to visualize, to picture the details of what one wants, as if one is already there. Not we want to, but as if it is already there. When this is done, the subconscious mind carries it to the higher level, which we could call, at the risk of criticism, the superconscious mind. Now, when I want to explain to you what I mean by not to imagine that you want to be there, but to imagine and visualize that you're already there. That's when it starts working. For instance, now this is very mundane, I don't practice it, but suppose I want Money. Everybody wants money. Generally, people want a lot of money. So when you want money, of course you have to work hard for it. There is no question. Some people say, I worked all my life, but that money is not coming in, Okay. So here is a mantra in English. It's very funny. It's mundane, it's very down to earth, but it works in most cases. If I say, I want this much money, I want, the mind is always in the wanting mode. It's empty. Nothing comes. What if I say every day in the morning and in the evening, I have all the money I want in my pockets, in my bank account, and available for my use all the time. Suppose I keep saying this all the time. Then the brain begins to feel, yes, this money is required because this fellow is chanting it all the time incessantly. So it finds out ways and means how to bring it about. Instead of saying, I want, then the brain is empty. It's always like a beggar. When I say I have everything, then everything follows. I hope you got what I'm trying to say. So, like if I say I'm puny, I cannot do this, I'll always remain like that. If I say no, I can grow. In fact, there is a beautiful statement, the Vibhuti-pada of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, that a yogi who fixes his attention on the strength of an elephant begins to get more energy and capacity than ordinary. So instead of thinking I'm an ant, if I think I'm an elephant, but please, this is only visualization. Don't think you're an elephant and then go to the office and break the table with your trunk. Not trump, sorry, trunk. So, okay. So now we can proceed because we are only half an hour all together. And how many minutes have we done? So now we could have some questions from you, which I will try to answer. Let me tell you beforehand, I don't know if I can answer the questions unless I know the questions first, okay? Now this question cannot be answered in this session. The question is, can you shed some light on what exactly is consciousness and how to experience it? Are you conscious? The questioner, Mr. Vaishak. Are you conscious or are you unconscious? You are. That is consciousness. So think about it carefully and try to find out. In this small session, you cannot go into explaining consciousness. No questions. Okay. Okay, so we'll proceed for some time. Since there are no more questions, I think everybody has become so conscious that all questions have ceased, which is very good. Okay. Now, let me explain to you how to meditate. Suppose I'm alone, I can't do anything else, I can't go out, I'm not allowed, there is a red zone, there's an orange zone, there is a green zone and so on. Green zones are becoming lesser and lesser. So if I have some green in my house, in my garden, in a lawn or in my garden, that is my green zone, okay? So I can sit there comfortably. I may close my eyes or I can keep my eyes open. It doesn't matter. It depends on how you want to do it. And then you sit down on a comfortable position, folded legs if you can, or sit on a chair. If there is a beautiful breeze blowing, that's an additional qualification. If it doesn't, it's okay. Then sit with your eyes open. Look at the lawn. Okay? Allow your eyes to go on the green grass in the lawn. Believe me, if you look for some time, you will find some creature jumping up and down. Look at it for some time. Why I'm saying this is, don't force your mind suddenly to close your eyes and go in, because it will be full of thoughts. Stay there. Then after a minute or so, Take a deep breath. Your eyes are still open. While you're taking your deep breath, give attention to your breathing. Follow your breath. Then breathe out. Follow your breath. Again breathe in. Follow your breath. Again breathe out. Follow your breath, then close your eyes. Now when you're breathing in and breathing out, give complete attention to your breath coming in and your breath going out. You don't have to chant anything. No mantra is required here. Just do that. Do that for full 5 minutes. Don't think why I'm doing it, what for, is my mind becoming quiet, are thoughts becoming less. This is the fine way to produce thought. Don't think of all that. Think that it's a mechanical action. I'm breathing in, complete attention. I'm breathing out with complete attention. I'm breathing in with complete attention. Breathing out, fix your attention on that. Then slowly see, watch. Your mind is calming down, cooling down. At this point, just chant the sound of Om. How do you chant the sound of Om? Like this. Om. Give some time also to the last part, which is Ma. Om. Give complete attention to what you're doing. And keep doing that for a few minutes and then stop and sit quietly. Now, very little thoughts, very less, but there may be some. Allow them to come and go. Don't even interfere with them. If you do that for a while, you'll begin to enjoy that quietness. Once you begin to enjoy the quietness, then you're hooked. Then you will not feel like not meditating. You will want to meditate. Okay? So now if there are any more questions, we can look at them. Don't ask me about Brahman and consciousness and all that. This is not the venue for that. How do we, for the first time, start meditating? That's exactly what I explained just now to you. How do we, for the first time, start meditating? If you listen to this carefully, or did you immediately start writing about the question without even listening to what I said fully? What did I say? Now this is the problem with our minds. They want to ask questions, before even allowing something to settle down. This is because we have been taught this way in schools. The boy who sits in the front row and asks first question, teacher thinks, Sabash, he is the most smart fellow. Guy sitting in the back may be still thinking about it, and he may be trying to figure out what is the right question to ask. So the first thing is to allow the meditation to settle down, the understanding to settle down before you ask a question. I have just explained to you, if you go back, how do we do for the first time meditation? Sit down. I don't mind repeating because Dharmendra, is this Hema Malini's husband Dharmendra or somebody else? Anyway, here we go. Sit down quietly, close your eyes. I was qualifying the person, okay? Sit down quietly, close your eyes. No, first keep your eyes open and look at the lawn and see how beautiful it is. Please listen carefully. If you don't listen, I'll start talking like Nityananda now, please. So, listen carefully. When I say listen, that means you are listening, not me, not like that. Okay, so sit down quietly and look at the lawn in front of you, the greenery in the lawn, okay? And then close your eyes and start breathing in and out. You said start, this is how you should start, okay? Allow your breath to go in. Give complete attention to that. Allow the breath to come out. Give complete attention to that. Keep doing that for a while till you actually feel that the only thoughts that are in your mind right now are the inhaling and the exhaling. Right? Okay. Now, jokes are all over. This is M talking, not anybody else. So you are watching your inhalation and you are watching your exhalation. After 2 minutes, you will notice quietly that your mind has become a little bit settled. Okay, now chant Om. So how do you chant Om? Like this. Eyes closed. Om. Or Now see that when you're doing that Om chanting, it could be Om or it could be Om. It doesn't matter. Both. Also give a little bit of attention to the last part, which is now let the mind feel the vibration of this completely, and then stop. In that sudden silence, sit quietly. Some little thoughts may be coming and going, but it doesn't matter. Allow them to come and go. You just sit quietly and watch as if it's a TV. If there are no thoughts and there's only the thought of me sitting down and the quietness and the sound of Om, well and good, that's the best thing that can happen. And as you go on practicing daily, slowly, the mind will settle down. It cannot be done in a single day. Okay. Dharmendra? Okay, now there's another question from Hema Malini. Padma. Guruji, how to correct the imbalance of the mind? Train. How do you correct the imbalance of the mind? Is the mind really imbalanced, your mind? I doubt it. You're thinking that it is imbalanced. I don't think it's imbalanced. Yeah. We believe, the yogis believe, that the mind's balance depends on the balance of the Ida and the Pingala, the left breath and the right breath. So one way to do that, look, if it's totally imbalanced, you need to see a psychiatrist, you need to have medication. I cannot help you. But if it's just a minor state, then you can do Anulom Vilom. Breathe in through the left, breathe out through the right, breathe in through the right, breathe out through the left. Now, if it's seriously an affair of the mind being disturbed and so on, this will help. But if it's anything to do with a psychiatric disorder, then I don't claim to have a cure for it. You need to see a psychiatrist. Otherwise, sit down quietly, breathe in through the left, hold your breath, breathe out to the right, breathe in through the right, hold your breath, breathe out to the left, and keep doing it for 5-10 minutes. That will balance the Ida and the Pingala. When the Ida and the Pingala are balanced, then your mind also becomes balanced. Now there is Shruti here. Should we keep avoiding people and situations who we feel are capable of making us angry, jealous, or any such negative thoughts? Or should we deal with them and try to remain positive? I have a suggestion. Get this book online on meditation. There's a very good description of it, very detailed. Go through this. Shiva. What are the benefits of meditation in my daily life? Meditate first for 10 days and see how it affects your daily life. Nishad. Another question. Why Nishad? In the path of self-awareness and spiritual well-being, how does one know or evaluate if one is going right or wrong from learnings gained without having a guidance or the blessings of a guru? I would suggest please keep away from all gurus, including him. Don't have to worry about that. So, whether you want to, how do you assess in this path where I am going? Self-centered. Self-awareness is different from self-centeredness. So if your mind is expanding and tomorrow you're thinking also about your neighbor and not only about yourself, then your awareness is expanding. Because ultimately when awareness expands, we find that you are not different from anybody around. So if you're caring for others, then your awareness is expanding. Chitra Mohan asks, sir, will meditation help remove negative cell memory? Now, you cannot really find out, go into the cell and see if there is a negative cell memory. I think what you mean is that is it possible to get rid of all the memories which are unpleasant and which are causing you pain? Probably. Now, meditation will help, but the first thing you must understand before you do meditation is that the past actually does not exist in the brain except as a memory. And memory is not now, memory is behind. So when you think about it this way, you will soon figure out that the memory that is troubling you, the negative as you call it, is actually only a memory which is going on repeating like a tape recorder. When you see this clearly, you say, hey, so since I am so caught up in that tape recorder, I am not able to see the present realities. If you start thinking this way while you meditate, then you might be able to be free of this negative cell memory. What I don't know exactly what you mean by cell memory. Is probably you mean that the cell has memories. Nobody has actually found out in the brain where the memory cells are. But they know that when certain parts are removed, there is amnesia. Yes. So we can't remove those parts. So what can we do? Neural pathways can always open up and create new pathways if you apply your mind. This is one great thing. So bring good positive thoughts and replace the negative with them. Understand that all the negative thoughts that you have are from the past and they don't exist now and they're merely a tape that is playing on and on. Start with that and probably you can carry on with that. Anush, how to not think what other people think of you? Just go and watch a video of the parliament. That's all you have to do. They don't care what other people think of them. They do their job and they even have security. There's somebody called Dhyan. Jiddu Krishnamurti says truth is pathless land. Could you say something on it, Guruji? He negated every method. Okay, Jiddu Krishnamurti said, what do you say? If you are seriously reading Jiddu Krishnamurti, then you shouldn't say Jiddu Krishnamurti says. You should say, what do I say? When you talk to Krishnamurti, he always said, sir, it doesn't matter what I say or what the Buddha said. What do you say? What do you think? Out the answer to your question. Shiva Karai, during meditation I feel some energy coursing through my body. When I first started, it was very intense. Nowadays it occurs infrequently. I would suggest that the less frequent it is, the better you are. Don't allow this kind of thing to take up your mind. My body is vibrating. We don't know what vibrate us. So just sit down. A deepening of meditation is not energies coursing through your bodies. Deepening of meditation is calming down of the mind and a pleasant feeling coming from your heart center. Look for that. Don't worry about all this. I know some people encourage that, but I don't. Please give, Mr. Niranjan, please give one simple formula of karma yoga which we can apply in daily life for unattached action. Very simple. Do your work, Don't worry too much about the result. That's all. It's very, very simple. Mr. Syed Nazim wants to know, what does Om mean? Now, Mr. Nazim, that will be a whole 1 hour talk or 1.5 hour talk on Om. The entire Upanishad deals with Om, so I don't think in this short talk we can take it up. Now, Shivakumar says, after doing Anulom Vilom, which is alternate breathing, and also I have to answer Mr. Nazim, please read the transcripts of my talks on the Upanishads. There are many. Go to the YouTube and see, I have talked on Om. Listen to that and get back to me. Shivakumar, after doing Anulom Vilom and meditating for a while, I am getting headaches. What should I do? That headache has nothing to do with Anulom Vilom. I think you should check for sinusitis and try to open your nostrils, or check for migraine or whatever it is. It has nothing to do with Anulom Vilom. Why? Because hundreds and thousands of people do Anulom Vilom every day and do not have headaches. So don't associate the headache with your Anulom Vilom. Pavan, could you tell more on astral projection and how long it will take for a person to travel astrally? I will come there and tell you in my astral body, Mr. Pavan. Then, by Omi, each one of our minds is conditioned in the same way. How to clear or overcome our conditioned mind? Yes, the first step would be to find out the conditioning. What are our conditionings? How do you do that? Not by sweeping it under the rug, but by actually checking yourself under all situations when you are in this world. Then you will find out what condition, because you are saying all mind is conditioned the same way. It is not. Everybody has a different kind of conditioning. Of course, it is conditioned. Everybody's mind is conditioned. That is true. That is same, but not in the same way. Different kinds of. So first thing is start studying yourself. What is my conditioning? How do I react to a certain person? So then you will begin to know about your conditioning. If you don't know about your conditioning, how will you get rid of it? How do I get rid of something which I don't know at all? I need to know it intimately. So don't hate it. Don't condemn it. Don't justify it. Allow it to be and see. If you really want to be free of it. What do I do if I can't stop thinking while I'm meditating? Don't worry about it. Keep thinking while you're meditating. At least think that you are meditating. If all that thinking stops, then you're in an unconscious state. We are not aiming to be in an unconscious state. So at least let all other thoughts go, except the thought that I'm meditating. Don't do anything about it. Let it be. Nivedita, I have a few months baby and I'm busy looking after him all the time. I'm unable to sit and meditate. What to do? Don't meditate. Look after the baby, because if you meditate, the baby may go somewhere else. So just look after the baby with complete attention. This is meditation. This is meditation. You don't have to do any other meditation. Bhavani Devi says, Pranam sir, if we are enjoying the lawn, the mind says I should be doing Kriya, I become neither here nor there. What should I do? Enjoy the lawn. But don't light a cigarette, Bhavani. Then, because when you look at the lawn, that itself is a great meditation. Don't do Kriya at that point. Change it. Do Kriya later. First, look at the lawn. Meditate on the lawn, and then the sun will go down. Then you can do Kriya instead of doing anything else. It's half an hour. I think now we need to stop because it's half an hour. There are many more questions. I don't know how to work it out. Put it onto Facebook or something. We'll see. Thank you very much. So we enjoyed this session. I hope We had some fun and we had some serious and we had some jokes. And this is the way to live your life. Actually, this entire life is a big joke. So anyway, it doesn't matter. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Am I still